Hi, welcome back to my sewing vlog. My name's Natalie and this is the Seaside Sewist, and this is my turn today on the vlogger tour for a gift to November. So what is a gift to November? It is a brilliant challenge run by Alison from Sew Like Dotty. I think this is in its third or fourth year now, and it's just a fantastic way for myself of keeping me accountable of gifts that I want to sew up for Christmas, for loved ones or for colleagues or anyone really. So I'm going to pop a few pointers up here. So it is a challenge that runs for the whole of November. It is any sewn item that can be made as a gift. So it can be cross-stitch, embroidery, machine sewn, hand sewn, anything like that, but it has to be a gift. So you can't share something that you maybe make to sell in an Etsy shop or for a craft fair or anything like that. It has to be a gift. You can share these gifts right throughout November. You just need to use the hashtag AGTN25 and you must tag Alison in, so you must tag at Sew Like Dotty. Now it's worldwide. You do need to put your country of residence. That will help Alison with any prize giving. So you just post your makes to Instagram. If you know that there's some of the recipients for your gifts who are on Instagram, you can email the makes to Alison. What she is asking for this year is that you photograph your makes throughout the month and then send them all as one email, and maybe put 6 gifts, 10 gifts, whatever's on there, rather than just repeat emails. If you do go over to Alison's YouTube, she does do a launch video for this, so I think she's a lot better at explaining it than me, but you know, go over and see what her makes are, or her ideas. So this year I am going to share 5 patterns that you can make from scraps. So what I like to do on my gift to November vlogs is actually show you a made item. I'm not particularly into watching the vlogs where people just share patterns or share ideas. I like to actually see the tangible item. So the first item that I'm going to share with you is a Teabag wallet, and this was brought to my attention by a YouTuber called Beautiful Things. I'll tag everything down below that I mention. So I made a Teabag wallet as a prototype to show you. I am going to be making some of these as gifts. So I've used this lovely fabric that is from First Fabrics, I think, and it's like little Italian villages. And then when you open it up, you can pop 4 tea bags in there. Now this is really easy to make. I have a template. And it's literally a piece of paper, and it's 20 centimeters by 12. You need to cut 4 of these. 2 are the outer pieces, or the outer piece and the main back, and then the other 2 pieces get folded in half and then just sort of staggered. So we've got one there, and then we've got one at the top there. You literally just fold those in half and top stitch them, lay them on top of that piece, stitch down the middle, put your outer piece and that piece then right sides together, pop a bit of elastic in one of the sides, sew it all the way around, turn it out and top stitch it all the way around, and then you literally pop a little button on and And that's your little tea bag holder. Now I am going to use this. I'm off to Harrogate in a couple of weeks for the knitting and stitching show. I am going to use this because I like Yorkshire tea. And I like to take my tea bags with me because there's so many hotels that you get into, and you're lucky if it's Yorkshire tea or Twinings. It's usually PG Tips or Tetley, and I like a cup of tea before I go to bed and a cup of tea when I get up in the morning. So I'm going to pop that in my bag, and I'm really going to get some use for that. So I think, God, it took me about 5 minutes to make, so it's something really quick and easy that you can use as a stocking filler. So that is my first make from scraps. My second make, using a piece of the leftover fabric, is one of these little lavender bags. Now these can be used for a few different things. So I've literally cut 2 pieces of fabric, sewn them together and turned them out, and then I've put some stuffing in and some dried lavender. Now I had a bag of dried lavender that I bought for another project, but I do have lavender in my garden that is obviously out of season now, and I can cut that and pop it in. So you can pop those into drawers to make your underwear drawers smell nice, things like that. Or if you add maybe a few metal washers into that as well, you can use those as pattern weights. So you could make like a set of 5 or 6 in a certain fabric or mixed fabrics, and that could be a little gift of pattern weights. My third scrap fabric gift is actually from a kit, but I can now use the template to just make another one, and it is a mug rug. So the one that I've done is an English paper piecing set in Liberty fabric that I got from a local lady to me, but at the knitting and stitching show in Harrogate, and the company is called Sew Motion. And in these little kits you get the English paper piecing pieces, which I've obviously already used, the instructions, and then I got the Carnaby, is it Carnaby Street? Piece of fabric, piece of like chambray, and then these little pieces of Liberty, and you learn how to do English paper piecing and quilting. And I have that on my bedside cabinet, and my cup of tea goes on there, and maybe a little snack goes on here. Now, what does this measure? You are looking at 21 by 14 centimetres approximately. But you could just use 2 scraps of fabric, maybe do some applique here, or just have it plain, or maybe do it in half so it differentiates between your tea and your snack. But I think that is a lovely little stocking filler as well, that you're using scraps again. So Sew Motion, maybe at the knitting and stitching show, and I might buy a couple of those as gifts, because I think it was just a lovely little afternoon project that I enjoyed doing. But I've now got the little English paper piecing cardboard pieces, so I could do this again in different fabric. So that is my third gift. So my fourth gift, which is tried and tested, and I have made these for the last few Christmases. I've made them for myself, family members, and they're a brilliant way to use scraps. And what I usually do is use, if I've made a sweatshirt or something like that, I use what is left of the sweatshirt in to make it now, and it is a snood. So I made a sweatshirt, a Billy sweatshirt in this fabric, and had some left, so I literally have used that on the outer, and this is the same fabric but on the reverse on the inner. Now this is a pattern by Apple Green Cottage, so I'll link them down below, and it's just a lovely little stocking filler, I think, to keep you warm. sometimes wear them indoors. But this matches my sweatshirt, so I sometimes wear them together. But I think it's just a great way to use the scraps from a make like a sweatshirt or a hoodie or something like that. Because what else could you make out of that amount of fabric? So it's just a great scrap buster, but a fantastic gift. And my last gift is probably something that I've already made 2 as Christmas presents, but I made one for myself earlier this year, and I literally did use scraps of fabric, and it is the BF Patterns Bestie Bag. Who wouldn't want to receive one of these for Christmas? I used some black denim that I'd got in a jeans making kit, and I had this denim left, so I made myself one. I've made another one with the outer and the black denim, and I've still got enough left to probably make another one. The webbing and the zip and the zip pulls and everything I had in my stash. You know, you could probably make this with things that you do have in your stash. And then on the inside, I've used that Italian fabric again, the little Italian house fabric, as my lining. So I made my test one from scraps, which is fantastic. Imagine giving that to somebody as a gift at Christmas, knowing that it's probably cost you a couple of pounds for a couple of the pieces that you needed, that you didn't have. So I am really happy with my bestie bag, and I hope that the recipients of the other bestie bags that I've made are happy with those too. So that's just a small selection of things that can be made from scraps. I got my little cotton box out earlier, which has got like fat quarters and scraps from other things, and I've managed to cut out quite a few small things to make, which are great little stocking fillers, or you know, just little gifts to pass on to people. It's a lovely thing to do. So watching the vlogger tour and doing my own vlog on a gift to November really does help me concentrate and hold myself accountable for what I've said I will make for Christmas. I haven't got a lot that I am making this Christmas. I've already made 2 bestie bags. I got on with them quite early on. But I'm not stressing myself out this year with big items to make, like pyjamas and things like that. So I think I've got enough on my plate with a couple of little bits and bobs that I can use my scraps for, which is fantastic, because we just have loads of scraps, don't we? So I'll just share also in here some of the prizes that are available for sharing your makes. The star prize is a Janome sewing machine that is worth £599, which is being donated by David Drummond, which is just amazing. Imagine winning that and getting that delivered just before Christmas. That is just the best gift ever. But there's lots of other small businesses that are taking part, and there's some fantastic prizes out there. So why not make up your Christmas gifts and send a picture to Alison, Sew Like Dotty, and be entered into this fantastic challenge. So I'm excited to watch the rest of the vlogger tour. I'm already enjoying some of the vlogs that are out there, and let me know what you think of the gifts that I've shared, and let me know if you'll be making any of them. Until next time, bye.